WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is on his way to plead guilty to a conspiracy charge as part of a plea deal with the Justice Department. And a historic space mission by China brings back samples from the far side of the moon. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Tuesday, June 25th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. Julian Assange will soon be a free man. The WikiLeaks founder has agreed to plead guilty to one count of violating the Espionage Act. U.S. prosecutors have agreed to give Assange credit for the prison time he's already served in London, which will allow him to return home to Australia. The legal saga, spanning nearly 15 years, will soon be resolved. Assange left a British prison on Monday, where he has spent the last 5 years, and boarded a plane headed for the Northern Mariana Islands, a U.S. territory. According to court documents, Assange has agreed to a plea deal with the U.S. government. He will plead guilty to a single charge of conspiring to unlawfully obtain and disclose classified national defense documents. The charges stem from classified information on the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq being published online more than a decade ago. Assange is expected to be sentenced to 5 years, which he's already served, sparing him from additional prison time. He's expected to travel to Australia to be joined by his wife Stella and 2 children. Assange's wife says the couple will be seeking a pardon.
Of course. I mean, I think that the correct course of action from the U.S. government should have been to drop the case entirely. We will be seeking a pardon, obviously, but the fact that there is a guilty plea under the Espionage Act in relation to obtaining and disclosing national defense information is obviously a very serious concern for journalists and national security journalists in general.
Prosecutors say the Northern Mariana Island was chosen for the location of the hearing because of its proximity to Australia and that Julian Assange had opposed to traveling to the U.S. mainland. The hearing is set for 9 a.m. Wednesday local time, which is 7 p.m. tonight Eastern time. Hunter Biden is seeking a new trial. Less than 2 weeks after his conviction on federal gun charges, attorneys for the president's son have requested a new trial, saying his convictions should be vacated because the trial started before a circuit court had formally denied his appeal, arguing the Delaware court that tried him did not have jurisdiction. Hunter Biden was found guilty earlier this month on 3 federal charges related to buying a gun while using drugs. In a separate filing Monday, Hunter Biden's lawyers argue the Supreme Court's recent decision to uphold a federal ban on firearms for people under domestic violence restraining orders supports their motion for an acquittal or, at a minimum, a new trial. His attorneys arguing that because Hunter Biden never acted violently toward anyone or misused the gun, the charges against him are unconstitutional. A federal bankruptcy court trustee is planning to shut down Alex Jones' media company InfoWars and sell it off to pay for Jones's $1.5 billion settlement he owes to families of the victims of the Sandy Hook massacre. The move comes weeks after a federal judge in Texas ruled to liquidate Jones's personal assets, but did not determine the fate of InfoWars, the platform Jones used to say the 2012 shooting that left 20 children and 6 educators dead was all a hoax. The trustee also asked a judge to put an immediate hold on the efforts by some of the Sandy Hook families to collect the massive amount Jones owes them, saying that would interfere with his plans to close InfoWars' parent company, Free Speech Systems, and sell off its assets, with much of the proceeds going to the families. Parents in Louisiana are suing their state's education department and local school boards over the new law requiring the 10 Commandments be displayed in all public schools, calling it unconstitutional. In court filings, the 9 families, backed by civil liberties groups, argue the law, quote, substantially interferes with and burdens their First Amendment right to raise their kids in whichever religion they want. Under the new law signed by Governor Jeff Landry last week, a poster-sized version of the 10 Commandments would have to be displayed in all public K-12 classrooms and state-funded universities. The families are seeking an order to stop that from happening. 2 federal judges in Kansas and Missouri have blocked key aspects of President Joe Biden's student debt relief plan that lowers payments. Monday's rulings will stop the Biden administration from any further implementation of its SAVE program, the plan that ties how much someone pays each month to what their income is. The plan has been in place for almost a year. This means the second phase of the plan, which would have reduced monthly payments from 10% of a borrower's discretionary income to 5%, is on pause. So is any further cancellation of debt for people who took out smaller initial loan payments and have been paying for 10 plus years. However, the 8 million people who have already enrolled can keep using the SAVE plan until the cases are fully litigated.
It's landed. You can hear applause from the ground control and command center as people watch this with breath that is bated.
A round of applause from the control room. After 53 days, China's Chang'e 6 became the first mission to successfully bring samples from the far side of the moon back to Earth. The return capsule landing in China just after 2 p.m. local time. The capsule expected to contain around 2 kilograms of moon dust and rocks to be analyzed by Chinese researchers and then by international scientists. China's successful mission is the latest achievement in the modern space race, as the U.S. is set to send astronauts back to the moon as early as 2026, while China plans on doing the same by 2030. Finally this morning, they say there's nothing like a Game 7 in sports, and hockey fans got to experience a memorable one last night as the Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup for the first time in franchise history. The Panthers were able to stop the momentum of the Edmonton Oilers that fought back after being down 3-0 to force a Game 7. After losing the last 3 games, the Panthers rebounded, defeating the Oilers 2-1. Despite being on the losing team, the Oilers' Connor McDavid was named the postseason's MVP, but it was the Panthers who got to hoist the Stanley Cup trophy over their heads in front of their home fans. These are your top stories for this Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.